Please. I'll die without help.
Ah, gotcha!
Don't mess with
Here
us!
we go!
Worse than rock. Take worse than rock.
Step!
Listen. Take worse than rock.
Didn't stand a chance! That's one for us.
There. That's Tama's old house. Wonder what he wanted me to find. Place feels different without him. He left something behind for me. Help me look around. Tama painted that? I had no idea. So much here reminds me of Tama. It's strange to be back without him. I still can't imagine what he wanted me to find. Say, what's that you're holding? I recognize that. That can't be. His most prized possession. Damn you, Tama. Damn you. I carved this for him years ago. I had no idea he'd kept it, let alone. And he tells me like this, when he's long gone, leaving me with nothing but a piece of driftwood I gave him years ago. The man kept a journal of poetry. He never had a problem with words. And we knew each other for years. We were close. I trusted him with things in my past. Things I don't talk about. If he really did, he would have told me. I was a mess when we met. I'd been through the battles in Deadfire and a handful of mercenary campaigns since. I was a chewed-up piece of flotsam drifting to the living lands. Tom always saw right through me. He knew what I was. A coward. I let him down. He was always there when I needed him. But when he needed me, I can't ask him now, can I? I'm sorry. I don't mean to take this out on you. You wouldn't say that if you knew. Never mind. I haven't talked about this in a while, so thanks for listening. It means a lot. Especially since you seem to have your head on straight. Let's keep moving. A little fresh air will clear my head. I used to patrol out here. Swore I'd never come back. Tama lost his badge near here.
They're coming!
Seal mes mito.
Left leg!
Another soul for the wheel!
Let's end raw. Oh, 10. Let's end raw.
Hook up, one.
Gather round! Dodge! That'll show 'em.
Why can't the way forward in science ever be easy?
Protect the envoy!
He's outside. Seal mes mito. 10. Worse than raw. Seal mass meat hole. Raw 10. Worse than raw. Worse than raw. Seal mass meat hole. Seal mass meat hole.
Nothing's stopping me.
Heißen. Raw 10.
To your left. Another win. But who's counting?
That's Thomas' badge. You found it. It really was out here all this time. Right where we left it. It sure is. Reminds me of old times. Long marches under the desert sun. Scouting runs through sandstorms so thick we had to tie our tunics over our mouths. Oh, he was an incredible bastard. Led the defense of Thirdborn, which meant he also led most of our patrols. He'd wake us up before dawn with the most off-key singing you've ever heard and a pot of burnt merc brew. Only once I realized he was burning it so we couldn't taste how stale it was. He kept us marching until we had sand in every orifice you can think of, and a few you didn't know you had. Just when it felt like we were going to collapse, he'd call it and we'd make camp. And somehow, we'd all find the energy for a few rounds of cards or songs or stories. He did. Coming back here was a mistake. I don't know what we're doing here. Because I'm a glutton for punishment? Here's the truth. I led a patrol. We were ambushed. Tama came to our rescue. And he suffered a fatal wound in the process. He was the color of an eel's belly. The stubborn bastard made it all the way back to Thirdborn. We got him a sickbed, but we knew he didn't have long. I wish I could believe that. You ever had to watch someone fade away? When it's slow and agonizing, no glory, no din of battle, no distractions. Then you know. It's like sitting still while someone drags rusty nails over your skin. Sitting there, I noticed that he was missing his badge. And all the time I'd known him, I'd never seen him take it off. To an old trencher like him, a badge means honor, fellowship. I just couldn't imagine him without it. I'm sorry, Envoy. I haven't talked about this in a while. Thanks. Just having his badge in hand means more than you know. There's just one last thing I've got to do. There's a memorial site with some cairns on the cliffs east of Thirdborn. One of those cairns is Tama's. It's time I said goodbye. You know, I always thought it was supposed to be the other way around. Still, I hope you're right. Let's go. Thomas Memorial. Never thought anything could contain that man, you know? That booming laugh, that bottomless appetite, boundless energy. Now he's under a pile of rocks. It doesn't, but I appreciate the effort. This is where you're supposed to distract me. lighten the mood with a wisecrack or something. Trying. I thought I was doing a pretty good job. There's something I didn't tell you about Tama's death. Remember how I noticed he'd lost his badge? I went out. I told him I was going to go find it. He told me to stay. I said I'd be right back. I couldn't stand it. As soon as I was out of there, I just walked. And I kept walking. Not since returning with you. Couldn't imagine anyone would be too happy to see me after everything. Now you know why I never went back to his house in Emerald Stair. Why I never came back to Thirdborn. At least I'm in good company. The truth is, traveling with you and Marius, getting to know Giada, it's felt easy. Too easy. Yeah, and that worries me. I'm not a joiner. I'm good for a skirmish, some war stories, a few drinks, but I'm not someone you keep around. Come on, you know my story now. I let people down. I let them down when they're counting on me most. Self-compassion. That's a balm for outbursts and hangovers. I know what I am. I'm finally facing it. But he's not here, and that is because of me. I'm finally owning that. Of course I'm not. I'm finally being honest about this. Because if he was right, that just makes what I did worse. If I could relive that moment, I don't know that I'd do any better. The way you say it almost makes me believe it. Okay, you got me. One of the things I loved about Tama was how he gave us all a fresh start. No matter where we'd come from or what we'd done. I drifted to Paradise, but never thought about where I'd go from this. I came to the Living Lands running. From storms, from war, from all the things those forces of nature make out of you. Maybe I'm done running away. I don't know what that means I'm running towards, but I think I'm finally ready to figure it out. Once we've stopped the Dream Scourge and dealt with the Steel Garrote. One way to find out, isn't there? I've got some things to sort out, but it feels good to have something to look forward to. Listen, thank you for visiting Tama's memorial with me. I ran from that for so long. I never would have faced it without your help. Like I just woke up with a hangover. Every feeling, every memory I tried to keep a lid on is sloshing around, and I'm struggling to keep my balance. But I'm also remembering moments I hadn't let myself think on in a long time. Feeling warmth I couldn't get close to. Yeah, after I ride out the worst of it.
We think of grief as a burden, as something to be conquered. After a while, it gets to be so familiar, it's almost a source of comfort.
I wish this were another burden to conquer. That would feel easier. It's hard to imagine grief ever being a comfort, but I'll have to take your word for it.
I'm sure you'll be fine.
Thanks. I'll get there. And thank you for seeing this through with me. Was there something else? I can take watch. I'll be up a while anyway.